Good morning, January 19th. I'm going to try to talk fast because there's a lot of information I have today and I need to, shove it in a small amount of time. Today is an overview of the health, and I got sick in January 12th last year. One day I was fine, the next day I was literally in bed with barely any energy to breathe. It was sudden, it was unreal. I'd never experienced something like that before. I only had energy to brush my teeth or to, I don't know, drink and chew food or something like that. And it was, anyway, so long story short, finally in June I could no longer work. I passed out at work, and then some cognitive side effects happen where I would walk and not be able to walk in a straight line. I would just always walk to the side. If I drove, my eyes would just suddenly shift to one side, and I end up finding myself that I would drive off the road. So I stopped driving from that point on. I could no longer drive. My head started twitching like this. I was extremely confused. I would forget how to talk. I would forget words. I would have a very hard time putting words together in a sentence. If somebody talked to me, it would take me forever to process what they were telling me, and it forever to answer. So everything was just kind of going down the river, and which scared me. And through this time, we just tested everything possible. And 10 months later, in October, I finally went to the doctor and said, okay, we've tested all the organs, everything looks fine, and we need to look into autoimmune system. At this point, my joints hurt so bad that I thought I was suddenly 90 years old. I would barely walk. I felt like I had sand in between every joint, and it hurt so bad that my nervous system, it was just so overwhelmed. Central nervous system was so overwhelmed that I would just laugh constantly. Everything was hilarious to me, and it was because I was in that much pain. I was barely able to put it together. Just keep it together. So I knew something was extremely wrong, and of course the doctor told me, I don't know what's wrong with you, it's in your head and stuff like that. And I just refused. I flat out looked at them and I said, you don't know who I am, you don't know my personality, you can't come to me and tell me something like that. I said, something is seriously wrong. The difference is you just have not found it yet. And that's it. We just need to keep on pushing and pressing, and that's that. I'm not making these symptoms up. I don't do that. So I just took no for an answer. So somebody mentioned Lyme disease. Never knew what Lyme disease was all about. We did a test. It turned out positive. At that point, we changed doctors. We went with a Lyme disease specialist. We started treatment. A week on doxycycline, I felt 80% better. And I felt like I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The very next day, I was in the emergency room. And from that point on, I walked away with facial paralysis, a neck area paralysis, arms and hands paralysis, as well as other symptoms. And so we end up going to the doctor, the Lyme disease doctor. She put me on a combination of 3 antibiotics with lots of supplements just to strengthen the immune system and counteract the side effects of antibiotics. Stuff like for liver support, kidney support, heart, support, as well as a lot of probiotics and gastrointestinal support during, through this time. Then a month later, we went back for more tests, more blood tests, and a month later we went back and found out that I did not only have Lyme, I had Lyme with co-infections, one of which was Babesia duncani, a very similar malaria-like parasite or whatever these things are, that had absolutely the same symptoms and the same way of treating and stuff like that. So I had that, and I had strep infection and some other infections. So now we changed the treatment, we intensified the treatment, and again, you know, combination of 3 antibiotics, and then also the antibacterial and antifungal as well to that, and supplements, as well as trying to alkalize the water. So with something like this, and of course cell food into the water, where it just helps put more oxygen and nutrients into the food, into the water. And then it started the Hersheimer's reactions, really bad, nasty stuff, and Berber detox. It's really good to help you with those if you are in this situation. So being on those antibiotics, I had no idea a person can be that sick. So it's not a picnic. It's hard. It's very hard. But I thought, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. It is what it is. So we did that, kept changing things and stuff like that. But I would be like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and I never really was able to be strong enough to do certain things. I would feel good like a day or something, and if I did anything, it would just totally throw me back for 2-3 days, and it was just this constant back, you know, And last Monday, just kind of researching and reading a lot, I found out about this raw vegan diet. That being said, I've been gluten-free for about 6 years due to gastrointestinal problems, inflammation, and fuzzy in the head and stuff like that, and I went into gluten-free diet, and that really helped tremendously. Then after we found out about the Lyme and everything, I had to cut dairy out of the diet as well as sugar. Now, as I'm reading, I'm thinking, oh geez, now I have to go into the raw vegan diet. It's not something that I'm extremely happy about it, because I feel like it's cutting, you know, my options even more of the regular foods, I guess. And before, I ate organic and I ate extremely healthy, and I was exercising also. I was considered by everybody around me a health fanatic, so I felt like, geez, now I'm gonna just eat and live on grass. So I wasn't really particularly happy. But when you're in this much pain, you're willing to try anything just to feel better. So Monday I started, and I thought, well, let me give it a try. Not 100%, but let me give it a try. And then I started with salads for breakfast, salads for lunch. And when I say salads, huge. I mean, a lot of veggies, a lot of seeds, sprouts, and a lot of fermented foods like fermented beets or sauerkraut. It's really good. You know, like I buy it in Marlene's here in Seattle area, Fairway area that we live. Washington, Marlene's it's called like Ollie Kraut, and what it is, it's sauerkraut brine. It's actually the juice, the liquid, and I drink that, and it's really good, natural probiotics and enzymes into the body as well. And I've started that, and then also juice, smoothies, fruit smoothie that I would make, and all the fruits, you know, have to be organic and no pesticides and none of that nonsense stuff. And then with almond milk or flax milk. In my case, I would use either or. And I noticed increase in health. This video does not go past 10 minutes, so this is part 1. I'm gonna come back with part 2. Bye.